to the podcast. Hold on. Welcome back to the podcast. Um, hmm, I'm gonna keep my glasses on for this because I can't see without them. So yeah. All right, is my lights looking good? Okay, cool. Let me get the thumbnail going. This podcast, I wanted the title based off of the By the Block because I got a viral video that's popping off on TikTok right now, and people were looking for the podcast, and it was like, I can't see your By the Block videos. All I see is your rap videos. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna dedicate my next podcast to By the Block. Obviously, I'm gonna talk about current news. I'm gonna talk about what's going on out here in the world. I'm going to update you on everything that I usually update you on, like question and Q&A, and then I'm gonna do everything. But this is By the Block. Make sure you like. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that already. Let me go ahead and change this thumbnail real quick, as I usually do. I still don't have a name for the podcast yet, so I still need y'all help with coming up with a name. This is the second episode. I don't know how long this one's gonna be, but we're gonna hop right into it. I got my notes again. And even though like I haven't got a lot of people in these streams, the crazy thing is that when I chop this down, I get a lot of views. Like one of my videos is at 60,000 views on TikTok, and it came directly from this podcast. Another video is at 25,000. So when I chop it down, it's usually when people come back in and look for these longer recordings, and the clips usually blow up. So let's get into By the Block. So why do I want to By the Block? Like I said before, we created a lot of good memories in that neighborhood, and it was an amazing place. Like, when I was a kid, all the memories that I had and all that. Obviously, as I got older, that's when it got real dangerous, real treacherous. Shout out to the Christmas tree in the back, by the way. It got real dangerous, real treacherous, real quick, and I tell a lot of those stories on my TikTok page about that. But that made me who I am. I feel like at first I used to look at it as like a negative thing. Oh, it was street wars, it was violence, blah, blah, blah. But now I start to look at it as like, nah, man, the violence and the street wars is what made me who I am and gave me all the stories. So you take the good and the bad, the yin with the yang, you feel me? That's the way that like this stuff usually go. So if I sit back and look at my childhood home as like, oh, it was all good memories, then it wouldn't make it as special. But it's like, nah, like the people that I lost in that neighborhood, like that played a part of me wanting to go back and buy it. Me seeing all the poverty and people moving out. So it was the great memories with the rough memories of people, losing their life over there, and then everybody moving out in the neighborhood collapsing. So it's like, okay, I want to go back and restore those good memories, number one. Number two, I want to be a solution to a lot of the poverty and the crime that I see over there because of the lack of opportunities, because of the abandonment, because people are just over there and there's really not much going on. So the hope is that we can start one house at a time. Like I said in my other video, we already got one house that we are trying to close on with the land bank. It can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months, so I should have something in the spring. And we're going to keep replicating that model of getting this house, and then we're going to do that with the next house, then the next house, so, and eventually try to get my childhood home. Like I said, I missed out on getting it for $1,000 in 2020 when it was on the land bank, but now somebody owned it. They might try to upcharge me. But the crazy part is this story been all in the news and all that, so hopefully I get some investors and some support. So yeah, I mean, that's a big reason why I want to buy my childhood home, because it's like, it's going to represent what you can do in your city for all the other people in their cities, for all the other influencers and rappers, or people who got money, or just people who want to do something big in their life. It's not just about people with influence or people with money giving back to the neighborhood. It's about inspiring other people all around the world that you can do this thing. And I'm showing it day by day, even though it's like, oh, I didn't come in there with a bunch of cash and just buy up the block right away, because right now, like, it'd be hard for me to do that. I ain't got millions of dollars just to roll in there and just grab everything. But the beautiful thing is that people are seeing me as an average person that's trying to do this, which is way more relatable than some investor coming up and buying it up. Even if somebody see my videos and go buy it up, they'd be like, dang, Trey sparked the movement. He made it happen just with his voice. So I want to be an inspiration to y'all that's watching. And I want to be an inspiration to the average person that's like, man, I want to do something great. So I think it's a benefit that I ain't got a lot of money to just go in there and just grab everything up and call it a day, because there's no story behind it. The story is you got a guy who come from this neighborhood, who struggled, lived, and seen a lot of people, you know, lose their life in this neighborhood, and he's coming back to give it life, you know. So I think that's the beauty in what I'm doing in this neighborhood, you know. And a lot of people love it. They resonate. A lot of comments that I get on TikTok is, oh, you know, my childhood home was destroyed. I would love to buy it. You know, this is inspiring. Like, because people resonate with this so much, it was all organic. I was like, man, one day I would love to own this. And it all sparked that idea because I seen it on the land bank and missed out because I didn't know nothing about real estate. And I'm still working on getting my real estate license. I'm studying. I got my books all over my desk over there. And I'm still trying to get this license. I got a lot of deal opportunities. I've missed out on deals because I don't got my license. Like, I'm in commercial real estate, so some of these deals that I miss out on, and this will be the money that I need to fully fund a lot of these future projects. So like I said, when we close on one, everything is going to be banging like this moving forward. It ain't going to take that long for the future properties. But I think the process is where you learn and grow the most, and that people love to see. I'll be in my real estate office, and a deal will come across my table, and it'll be like 40, 50 G's, $40,000-$50,000 that I could have made if I had my license, because somebody's trying to go up and buy, you know, a whole portfolio of homes, 15 houses as an investor, and I could have sold those homes to them and profited like 50, 60K, but I ain't got my license. So I'm grinding, man. Best believe that, as well as doing the mentorships in the school in Detroit, doing real estate, doing my TikTok, this YouTube, doing Instagram. Right now, like my YouTube, I'm not making a lot off this, but I'm doing this because this is where I believe a lot of the knowledge and information is going to be given to y'all. So that's a big reason why I'm doing this. It's not really just about the money. It's about using this as a way to create content, do what I love, and also help those who watch me. So with the By the Block, like, that's where I'm at with it. I'm gonna keep updating this as much as I can. I'm gonna try to go over there and do some vlogs. Let me know in the comments if y'all want to see some vlogs of the neighborhood. It's a crazy and dope neighborhood at the same time. Like, it's a crazy experience just being over there. So I got a ton of videos I can upload. I got some vlogs I can do. So let me know if you want to see that. All right. First segment, I got some more news that I want to talk about. I'm sipping on a coffee I just made. I got some coffee from Sabbath Coffee. French pressed it up real quick. As y'all know, I either got the hookah and I got some sort of like drink, whether it's wine or something like that. Yeah, let me see. All right. So I want to talk about this Brittany Renner situation again. I have a hard time saying her name. Brittany Renner. So obviously we know that she's all in the media right now for, you know, getting pregnant by athletes and talking to people like Colin Kaepernick and all that, and debating just pearly things. And she's all over the media because women are seeing this like, dang, I don't know if women are inspired by this or what, or if it's just the hate that she's getting. She got commercials that just came out talking about being a side piece, you know, and it's like a side dish to some restaurant or whatever. And, you know, Brittany Renner, like, got a basketball player to have to pay her $200,000 in child support a month or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? And I think it's wild, like, that, you know, she built a career off of that, because she's, like I said, she's young, she's attractive, and I think there's a lot that women can learn from her. So I'm gonna dissect that and break that down. There's a lot that women can learn from Brittany Renner. So one of the biggest takeaways for me to tell people is, like, when you young and then you in your prime like that, I've noticed a lot of women be like, hey, I'm young, I'm in my prime, it's a lot of rich, it's a lot of famous guys that's coming at me. So they, you know, they have their fun. They like, hey, why not, you know, use my youth to have fun and enjoy myself, be on boats, yachts, which makes sense, right? Me as an artist, I built myself up to a point where I can enjoy the spoils that come with what I do. So I'm on boats, helicopters, flying out, doing a bunch of fun stuff. But the thing about that is, like, a lot of these guys that she attract aren't going to want to really settle down because they're entertainers, they're athletes. Anybody in that industry, it's going to be hard to tie down because of the crazy and fast lifestyle. So, like, a lot of girls who are really attractive like that and you know, who can have these guys with a lot of money and fame and clout, they don't really want to deal with the regular guys who work 9 to 5 who might still be making 80 to 100K. They like, man, I want the lifestyle, I want the fame, I want the money. And the thing about that is like, you're gonna get scarred, you're gonna get your heart broke dealing with guys like that, you know? So one of the things I would say is like, most women when they hit like 18 and they're really attractive, and you know, like they can usually have almost any guy they want. I mean, they can't necessarily tie him down, but they can at least get attention and money and quality time from that guy. I would say, man, you know, like obviously I'm not a woman, but I think as a guy looking in, the best thing you can do is use your youth and your beauty to get somebody that you know that's gonna be there with you. You know, ride or die, like somebody that's gonna hold you down and take care of you. You know what I mean? And if not, then be okay with a guy that's balling, that's famous, that's rich, and then he outliving his life, and you know you can be his main girl, and he got a lot of side pieces, right? That's usually what a lot of entertainers and celebrities or people with money do. But I would say like if you are a woman who have these options, you know, before you it get too late where you like Mia Khalifa and all the other girls, it's like, man, you know, not can't nobody take me serious because I'm known from jumping from celebrity to celebrity, or I'm known in the adult industry. The best thing I would say is to use your youth in your early 20s to secure somebody you know that's gonna hold you down. I mean, nothing's guaranteed, and I know you know you want to have your fun, but it's like, man, it's crazy to see that a woman like that of that quality is struggling to be taken serious, to have a family, to find somebody that's gonna commit to her. So I think that's the big issue with people like Brittany Renner who, you know, only want to go after high roller celebrities and status. Like I brought up Selena Powell before. You think somebody gonna take Selena Powell serious? You think somebody like me? It's like, why would I want to be near that girl where she pulling out her phone during, you know, you get men around doing business and talking about private stuff and private locations, and they posting pictures and sharing your location can get you robbed. And you know, she got pictures of Snoop Dogg sleep, and you know, put it all online. And Snoop Dogg married, but even if you single, even if you're a single artist and entertainer, you don't want nobody just airing you out like that. Like, and when these girls do that and they think it's fun, they get attention, they all no jumper, they get all this clout and fame, then they come back to bite them when, you know, they guys looking at them like, I'm good, I don't want nothing to do with that. So I think that's one of the biggest things that men can learn from Brittany Renner, or that women can learn from Brittany Renner. Like, you know, be careful, just be careful, because like I said before, what you put out there is what you gonna be stuck with. What I put out here on the internet is what I'm gonna be stuck with. You know, whatever image I portray, you can evolve and adapt. And I feel like as a man, yeah, like you can easily evolve and adapt. But as a woman, once you tie yourself to a certain image, people gonna hold you to that. You know, you look at Kanye, he's evolved year after year after year into so many different images, so many different styles, so many different looks. So like, but I feel like when you're a woman and you put yourself out there with the OnlyFans and all that, like, you know, it's gonna be a lot of those guys when you get older that's like, man, I don't know, that's out there on the internet. You feel me? Like I know girls who do OnlyFans, and hey, like it is what it is. Like I'm not judging, but all I'm saying is like when you start attaching yourself to these big names and you get put in this industry, like here in Detroit, I go out to the club and there's groups of women that you see at every club and different booths with different club owners, different rappers, different celebrities. You know, you see these girls with the same, you know, you see these same girls with all the high rollers like in rotation. And then you start to see like, oh dang, every time I see this group of girls, they with the club owners, that's what they known for. So when they get a guy that want to settle down and take them serious, they're gonna be like, nah man, this girl done been with every promoter, every rapper, every entertainer that come in Detroit. And I mean the choice is yours. You feel me? Like I ain't the type to ever judge. I'm like, if that's what you do, hey, that's what you do. But I'm just saying how the masses will look at you from my experience and from talking to guys and from what I see. You know, I'm not a judge. I'm not here to judge nobody. I just talk about it and talk about what I see happening. You feel me? So yeah, like I mean, I got sisters, younger sisters, and all that. You know, and I gotta figure out how to talk to them. Like, dang, you know, and to hear it out. Like, what's your perspective? You know, what is it like for you? What do you want out of life? So my thing is I learn and then I speak. You know, I'm learning. I'm in the learning phase when it comes to that. Some stuff I feel like I'm solid and sure on, but I'm still learning in every area. But when it comes to that, I'm still trying to learn and figure this out. You feel me? Because it's like a big problem that we face in today's society. That's why you got a lot of these guys like Roommates, Myron Gaines, Fresh and Fit, Andrew Tate, like all these guys popping up. You know, Steph is cold, and they talking about a lot of this stuff because it's like a big issue that we facing in our country. You feel me? Like, so yeah, that's that. So I got two things I want to talk about. I want to talk about like one of my craziest mixed martial arts stories in the gym. Shout out to Victorious MMA. Dude, probably like what, 250, 250 pounds taller than me. We fighting, and I'm getting a little better. I'm not as good as I am now in the gym, and we sparring. Usually we train hours, or no, we train for like 40 minutes, and then we spar for like 20. And then we all out of breath and tired. So if you ain't got good cardio, then you finish before you even start sparring. And it's brutal. You will get your head knocked off in mixed martial arts. It ain't no mercy. It ain't none of that. The only mercy is when somebody come in to stop the person that's punching on you or stop you from punching on somebody else. It's like animals in a cage. But a lot of the sparring is me and my homies. We still go at it. Right? I got my eye black one time. Somebody got their tooth knocked out like during a friendly sparring session. So it gets brutal. If you throw a hard hit hard enough and you make somebody mad, it's gonna get brutal. So, and ain't nobody stopping it unless it gets bad and out of hand. So my mans, we sparring, and I throw a punch. I go whoop whoop, and then he come back with a head kick and kick me straight in the temple right here. And then it hit my eye too. He kicked me like in the head and in the eye at the same time. And I seen like a flash of light. It was like boom. I'm like, geez. And that was a knockout kick. Like I could have been finished. But, you know, I've taken many hits so my body can really, it got a high pain tolerance. But otherwise, man, I would have been through. I would have been knocked out. So when it comes to this fighting stuff, it get crazy, but it tough you up. It teaches you mental, emotional, and physical resilience and discipline. So that's one big reason why I love it. I got these ancient warriors all over my place because it symbolizes a lot of like being able to take brutal impact and be strong, you know, and to be resilient. And on another segment, let's transition again because this is a podcast. I want to talk about why the police pull me over and try to take my, you know, guns a lot. People see them videos going viral all over my social media. So when you look at me, black guy, dreads, young, walking around and you see a Glock print through my shirt, most of the time police ain't gonna sit there and think, oh, this guy's an upstanding citizen or civilian. They're gonna think, dang, he look like he up to something. And that's just stereotypes, right? I'm not complaining about it. I'm just living in it, you know? So a lot of the times where they took guns off of me, they see me and they think that they're going to lock me up and give me a felony. Now, the reason that one of the cop friends that I have said this is because they clean up a lot of guns on the streets and they prevent a lot of like people from losing their life. I feel like that's accurate and I agree with that. But the problem is like, okay, well, how do you do that without discriminating or making people feel violated and not trust the police? If you know me, you know I'm somebody who always advocated between police and the community and try to bring it together. No, I don't just take the police side. I'm a part of the community first. And the police are there to protect and serve. But I feel like there's a huge gap in miscommunication in between policing and our community. So a person like me will come up and say, hey, us as a community, this is what we hope. This is what we want. This is what we want our officers to know. So when I get pulled over, it is frustrating, but I use it as a learning opportunity. We always got cameras out and phones out whenever I'm approached by most anybody, a fan, police, and they record it, and then you can see my interaction. I got my hands up. I'm telling them that, you know, like, hey, you can search me, wallet and right here, my CPL right here, and then they shocked, like, dang, how you got a CPL? And, you know, and I'm like, it shouldn't be a surpriser. So two things I learned from that is, number one, the police got to figure out a better way to clean up guns on the street without violating and discriminating against people. I know it's a dangerous field and all that. You could lose your life, get hurt. Number two, a lot of the citizens, you know, got to make sure that their insurance is updated when they get pulled over. Make sure they got their license. Make sure, you know, you got your CPL if you got a gun or know how to carry it right. In Michigan, separate the ammunition in the trunk, put the pistol in the glove. That's what I did before I got my license. So you got to know your rights, know your laws, YouTube it, read about it. It's hard. It's inconvenient. And we live in a city that is high poverty. So if somebody get a ticket, you know, I got tickets that, you know, that they piled up. And if they pile up, you know, then they can come after you, warrants for your arrest, all this. So it's like a trap. It's a system. So we living in a city full of poverty. I got family members who got expired license just because of tickets, and then when they get pulled over, they, you know, I think you get your car impounded, all that type of stuff. You can go to jail or whatever, get a record. It might be minor, but still, that's already putting you in a disadvantage. So to the civilians, to the community, always make sure you got your stuff together. If you're gonna ride strapped up, if you want to be safe out here, always know your rights, know your laws, be prepared, because you got people coming at you. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous world we live in, and then you also got to worry about the police stereotyping you. It's like you got to watch it from every way. So that's why I be so dangerous, because I be sharpening on my toes and trying to make sure can't nobody just come and just pay me down like that, whether it's somebody trying to run up on me and threatening me or whether it's the police. So that's one unique thing that I got going on, like, in the community. And I just want people to know that, like, I'm for the people, I'm for the community, and a lot of my stuff is educational. All my viral TikTok videos is trying to educate people on how to empower their community and how to keep themselves safe out here, and also how to be on your P's and Q's, on your toes, and keep your head on the swivel when it comes to the police. Because if you're from the hood, we got a whole set of struggles that people that's not from the hood don't know about, and that's why we get a lot of people like us disenfranchised and locked up and, you know, in a system, because we don't know a lot of these things. So a lot of my videos are educational, helping people out. Thanks for the like. Make sure y'all keep liking this video, subscribe if you haven't. So yeah, but shout out to everybody who watched the second episode of the podcast. You know, let's come up with a name eventually. I appreciate y'all for watching it. I'm gonna break these clips down, be looking out for it, and much love. I'll see y'all next time. Boom.